Hey everybody, Cody Meyer here. Just finished up the 7th stop of the 2017 FLW Tour season on the Potomac River, and what an event. You know, saved the best for last. This was by far the funnest event of the whole year. Caught more fish. Had my highest finish as well. Finished the tournament with 64 pounds, 11 ounces, finishing 4th place. So this is my 3rd top 10 of the season. You know, really good season, minus the 2 bad ones really in the beginning of the year. But this event was fun. You know, really just was relaxed. Had enough points after I caught a limit the first day to make the Forest Wood Cup. So I knew from there on, hey, let's go kind of swing for the fence. Let's try to win this event. I kept it really simple. Most people on a tidal water fishery, they're going to chase tides. They're going to go start on a low tide. They're going to follow it out, and they're going to run tides. I did not do that. I got in a couple community key areas around, you know, Mattawoman Creek, Belmont Bay, Aquai Creek. I put the trolling motor down, put my new grass goat on there, and just kind of got in the group, got in the crowds of people, and figured out how to catch a fish on low tide and high tide. The fish aren't going anywhere. They're going to be in the same general area. You just got to figure out how to catch them. And I definitely did. You know, if I would have caught a 5-pounder any of the first 4 days, I would have won the event. So I was that close to winning. But like I said, had a blast. Couple key baits for me. You know, 75-80% of the time I threw a Strike King swim jig and a Strike King pure poison vibrating swim jig. You know, a chatterbait style bait. 2 colors in each of those, a bluegill color and a black and blue. Very simple, didn't do anything crazy. Just fished basic natural colors. You know, I was fishing the green pumpkin bluegill style when the water was a lot clearer. The black and blue, of course, when the clouds came and it was a little bit darker. I think one key for me was keeping these baits very compact. You know, on the swim jig, I was throwing a little Strike King Rage chunk on there, and on the chatterbait style, I was throwing the blade minnow, and I was cutting it down where it was really small. Also, the line size was crucial to me. I was throwing a 12 to a 15-pound Seaguar Tatsu. That was really small, you know, when you're considering fishing heavy grass. But for me, that was the deal. I was getting a lot more bites than the next guy. I was fishing around huge crowds of people in these grass flats, so dropping down with the line size was key. Also, you know, the Hydro Wave, I would turn that thing on, I would crank it all the way up. You know, I've said it before, it really helps out when you're fishing around a bunch of people, and it'll just mask the sound of the boat where, you know, you're not hearing the transducer, you're not hearing the troll motor, but it'll mask the sound of the boat. So one key for me when I was fishing this bait is I was letting it hang in the grass, you know, especially on higher tide. When the tide would come up, I was letting the bait sink down to the bottom, fishing it through the grass, slowly reeling it through the grass, and I'd pop it up out of the grass. So I see guys all around me throwing a bait, they'd wind it on top of the surface, not trying to hang up on grass. For me, the key was getting it down on the bottom and then slowly popping it in and out of grass. That would trigger a lot of bites. As far as the rod and reel on both those setups, it was the same thing. It was the new Daiwa Tatula Elite rod. This is a 7.3 multi-purpose rod from Brent Ayler. You know, I cannot say enough great things about this Tatula lineup, the Tatula Elite lineup. From the handle to the blank to the guides, they're absolutely phenomenal. Love these rods. As far as the reel, both the setups was a 6:3 gear ratio. Daiwa SV TW. It's got the T-wing in there, so when you open up this reel, you're going to be able to cast a lot farther. You know, with the SV spool, you're not going to backlash throwing that lighter line, and just a perfect combination, extremely light. Also, when the tide got really low, I was doing a little bit of flipping. I caught a couple key fish during this tournament, and you know, really helped me out. And real basic, what I was doing, I was just throwing a Strike King Rage Craw, you know, just a green pumpkin, again, a black and blue color. A couple of days when it got really overcast out there, I would go to the black and blue, but for most part, I was throwing a green pumpkin. 3/8 ounce Strike King tour grade tungsten weight with the 4/0 jungle flipping hook by Owner. Love that hook. 15-pound Seaguar Tatsu, again, lighter line. I heard a lot of guys flipping braid, and they weren't getting, you know, near as many bites as I was, and I felt like that was key. As far as a rod and reel, 7.6 Daiwa Tatula Elite rod, designed by Ish Monroe. I was throwing a 7.3 gear ratio Tatula SV casting reel, and again, just had a blast. Caught, especially days 3 and 4, you know, 50, 60 fish a day. Can't complain about that. Finished 4th place. But more importantly, I finished up 6th place in the Angler of the Year standing. So had a phenomenal season. You know, throughout those couple events, Harris Chain and Travis Lake, yeah, I would have had a chance at Angler of the Year if I could have had 2 decent tournaments there. But overall, we made the Forest Wood Cup. We're going back, finished 6th place overall in the points for this year, and 4th place on the Potomac River. So really fun time, and I cannot wait for the Forest Wood Cup.